smile or to kick the 9 to 5. Time for plans, time for fun. You know it's time now for 11 alive. Together we can catch the stars. Together we're gonna shine. It's time for 11. It's time for 11 alive.
Show your style, relax a while, the way we used to do. Catching the flames, spending the days with an old friend or two.
Together we can catch the stars. Together we're gonna shine. It's time for 11. It's time for 11 alive. It's time for 11. It's time for 11 alive.
There's a prayer that's breathed around in dear old Erin's land. It's murmured on the threshold stone with a smile and a clasp of hand. And oft perchance it's murmured low with a sigh and a falling tear. But the sweetest blessing man can bestow is a prayer. God bless all here, and a happy St. Patrick's Day to you wherever you may be.
Participating advertisers in today's St. Patrick's Day Parade are Black Tower, the white wine in the black bottle. I Love New York and the New York State Department of Commerce. Manufacturers Hanover, we realize your potential. Coca-Cola, Coke is it. Carvel, America's freshest ice cream.
So let's have us a parade. Today, we've been waiting for it. It's here. The one day a year when the Big Apple becomes the Big Shamrock. And the Irish are on parade. And they'll be parading all over the length and the breadth of this land and overseas, too. As a matter of fact, I learned just a short time ago that Tip O'Neill is over in Cork celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And in Cork, they have been celebrating since the first of the year, the 800th anniversary of the founding of Cork City. But here, why today, the Hudson looks just like the Shannon, and the Palisades are all painted green. And the town of New York is the county of Cork, and every girl is an Irish colleen. It's a glorious day. How would you describe it? Magnificent, fantastic, incredible, perfect, all those words and more. And now, directly behind me, just moving up onto our cameras, the vanguard of the parade and the Fighting 69th. So now, the 283rd St. Patrick's Day Parade passes in review. And Cade me the falcha to you wherever you may be. Now the vanguard of the parade, a cloudless sun, a cloudless sky, sun warming those that are sitting along the line of march, and pretty soon we'll be bathed by the sun. A glorious afternoon, a colorful sight as we look down Fifth Avenue, awaiting now the arrival of the Fighting Irish, the Fighting 69th. The mounted police. And now, the Fighting 69th, led by Lieutenant Colonel Gregory G. Haven. And I don't have to tell you, the hearts are thrilled and the pulses kind of quicken. This is the day, St. Patrick's Day here in New York. And the fabled 69th moving up the avenue to the spine-tingling, soul-stirring strains of the Garryon. The marching song, named for a little town in County Limerick, was called by President Theodore Roosevelt the most thrilling marching tune ever written. And a piper leading the way. Morris Whalen from Tipperary. You hear that, Frank Purcell? And it's the Garryon and the Wolfhounds. The motto: gentle when stroked, but fierce when provoked. What a thrilling sight. Here now. The Norwich University Corps of Cadets playing the Garryon and the Fighting Irish, the 69th. Yep. 63 battle rings and streamers. Every American action overseas, they participated. But even more importantly, the medals of honor awarded to the men of the gallant 69th. You see, good friends, nobody ever wins the Medal of Honor. It's awarded by the President in the name of Congress. And during a ceremony, President Truman, in presenting the medal, said, "I would rather earn this medal than the presidency of the United States." And General George S. Patton, at a presentation ceremony, said, "I would give my immortal soul to hold this decoration." And the 69th, the Fighting Irish, have won their share. In the Civil War, the Medal of Honor was awarded to Tim Donahue and Joe Keel. In World War I, to Wild Bill Donovan, to Mike Donaldson and Richard O'Neill. In World War II, to a friend, Charlie Red Shea and Alejandro Ruiz, all of the 69th. Yes, and as they look at their history, they're proud as they look at their pantheon of heroes, and they can point with pride to Michael Cochran, You see, Michael emigrated to this country from Sligo in 1849, and he enlisted as a private in the 69th and was elected colonel in 1859. We'll get on later. Let's listen. I was telling you about Foul Michael Cochran at a point in time where he became a colonel in the 69th in 1859, and shortly before the Civil War, he endeared himself to all Irishmen by refusing to enter his men in the parade honoring the Prince of Wales during the latter's visit to New York. Now, Cochran was court-martialed for insubordination, but he was defended by Thomas Francis Marr on these counts, acting as a citizen, courageously as a soldier, and indignantly as an Irishman. We'll be back in just a moment.
By the chill of fresh and fragrant waters, where pools of light glow, there is a black tower. Black Tower, the imported white wine in the black bottle. Delicate flavor flows from each tall bottle, a clear golden color catching the brilliance of light. And every delightful glass becomes a superbly refreshing new pleasure. Black Tower, the white wine in the black bottle.
You got to love. You got to love. You got to love.
They want to know better.
You got to love.
That's all together, working, playing, day or night. The look that's right. You got to look.
You got to love.
The Jordache look.
Available at Macy's Bambergers.
New York, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways.
I love your sparkle and glitter.
I love your foreign accent.
I love the way you put on a show.
You'll love New York, too. For package tours and information, call 1-800-554-3600.
I love New York. You know why? Of course, it's open all night.
I love New York.
All night.
We drove through the pass of Keemonay, and there it was, one of the most beautiful sights I have ever seen. Beautiful, beautiful Cork. The Irish and the Congressional Medal of Honor. Friends, 686 Medals of Honor have been awarded to men native to 16 countries outside the United States. And of the total, that's 686, 256 were from Ireland, 125 from Germany, 95 from England, 55 from Canada, 38 from Scotland, and so on. And chronologically, the first Medal of Honor was awarded to a Dublin-born surgeon by the name of Bernard Irwin. And Irwin Army General Hospital is named after the fighting Irish doctor. Here they are, resplendent in their Barclay-clads, the Bishop McDevitt High School, the marvelous marchers, custodians of the largest handheld American flag. What a handsome group. Look at those faces. Perfect afternoon. Absolutely perfect. I can remember standing out here and saying, and so in March gray, to brighten their way, God gave to the Irish the saint of the day, and the snow would pour down and the rain would pour down, and still they marched. Almost like the postman. Rain, sleet, or snow, almost into the dark of night, they kept marching. But look at this day, how grateful we are. And these young people from Bishop McDevitt. They're young. Yep. Let's listen. The Grand Marshal of the 1985 St. Patrick's Day Parade, Peter King. A big moment in his life, to be sure. Peter is a native of Sunnyside, Queens, and he comes from Galway, Limerick, and Leitrim heritage. Educated in Brooklyn Prep and St. Francis College, a graduate of Notre Dame Law School, and he resides with his wife, Rosemary, and their children, Sean and Erin, in Seaford, Long Island. Seeing the Tipperary Piper pass by, I remember when a nephew of Frank Purcell's arrived here in this country in time to attend a burial in Calvary Cemetery, and after the prayers were said, it was a case now of coming to arrive at the point where they go home. And Frank looked around for the greenhorn, and he saw him over there, and he said, "Come on, Sean, we'll be going home." And Sean said, "Well, wait on, Uncle Frank, just look at this." He was staring at a tombstone. Frank said, "Well, what about it?" He said, "Well, read it." He said, "Well, here lies Michael Fitzpatrick, attorney at law and an honest man." And the nephew said, "Uncle Frank and Tipperary, they'd be buried side by side." Well, who knows? There are many, many lawyers in that official reviewing stand this afternoon. And there's the picture, this line that will stretch down the avenue, it seems almost into infinity. You get a picture of the parade moving toward you through the canyons of cement and steel, and then it moves past 59th Street, and it spreads out and takes this shape. And it is a mighty exciting, thrilling scene to see. Now, the police department of the city of New York, the top brass, and now the Holy Name Society of the police department. The Big Apple becoming the Big Shamrock, and Irish eyes are smiling all along the line of march. It's a comfortable day. There's just enough nip in the air to make your step lively and the marches respond to the plaudits of the spectators as they move along. And here, you can hear it now. You'll be hearing the pipers play. Such an important part, such a wonderful part, the contribution of the pipers tying back to Ireland the Irish war pipers and the Emerald Society of the Police Department of the City of New York. And today, no matter where they are, they're watching. Margaret Sullivan, 96 years young. Margaret, enjoy your tea. And a dear, dear, dear man, Joseph Timothy Patrick Sullivan. A good friend, a delightful companion, an honest critic, and a man who knows more about the Irish in New York since the turn of the century than anyone I know. And through the years, he's shared this knowledge with me. And I've been deeply grateful, and I feel privileged that I can call him a friend. So happy St. Patrick's Day, Joseph T.P. Sullivan. Wherever you are, listen to this, the skirl of the bagpipes, led by Finbar Devine. Finbar. By the way, this is the 25th anniversary founding of the Emerald Society Pipe Band. Hiya, fellas. You look just fine. What did you say, sir?
Have a good day, Jack.
There he is, the indefatigable mayor of the city of New York. Mayor Koch, you look just great. I firmly believe that nobody revels in this parade more than our mayor. Each year he comes up with his Irish sweater, today wearing the green tam. And look at him. He kind of thrills you just watching him go. He is certainly some piece of business, I'll tell you.
Spilled a cup of coffee, ruined a sweater, boss is screaming, send this letter, call Emery, and it's as good as there. Emery's on the case, so you don't have to worry. We go any place, get it to you in a hurry. From the biggest to the smallest, it's as good as there, just call us.
Hi, Emery?
It's as good as there.
The best kept secret in America is that this Japanese car is a Chevy. Yes, the Chevy Spectrum. Built in Japan for Chevrolet, Spectrum has more horsepower and still gets better gas mileage than the Honda Civic hatchback, the Toyota Tercel liftback, or the Nissan Sentra. A 5-speed transmission and rack and pinion steering are standard, all for a base sticker price under $6,600. So if you're looking for a great value on a Japanese-built car, see your Tri-State Chevy dealer.
We've got what you're looking for.
I have taken on many fighters and tried many beers.
one beer is in a class by itself. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling. It weighs in at a third less calories than the regular beer. Yes, I discovered your greatest beer, but I never met your greatest fighter. Hey, who's this Billy Martin anyway?
Billy Martin? He's warm, he's gentle, good looking too.
I got to meet this guy.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
The Daily News would come up with a bonus extra game card from Millionaire's Roulette on St. Patty's Day. Get Sunday's Daily News. You may have the luck of the Irish.
Witness the savage splendor of the Cliffs of Moher, rising 700 feet above the sea in County Clare. Good to see you. How's the man? Huh? Hey. What a day for a parade. What a beautiful blonde policewoman. How goes it all, huh? It's good. Well,
gift from the Mums of Highway Patrol, okay?
How wonderful. Thank you very, very much. I'll treasure this. Good. How are you, sir? And to you, too. Oh, that sun now bathing the avenue. I can't remember when we had a better day for a St. Patrick's Day parade. I'll say anything I want. A happy St. Patrick's Day. Good. Sure.
Hi, Mom.
That's St. Patrick's Day parade here. And say hello there. And, oh, look at her. Look at her. I'll tell you. The spirit. You got Danny Boy on there? Oh, how great. How are you? Good to see you. You're a lovely looking girl. How are you? How are you, sir? Oh, what an...
Sure, don't come on as long as I should.
Good.
Happy St. Jack. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Thank you. Well, oh, look at this. What's his name?
Bobby Hazel.
Bobby Hazel, why, thank you. Oh, I'm being decorated. More than... Would you believe this? You talk about the spirit of... Oh, a fast picture with Captain Jack. There we are. Huh? Good. What did you say, dear? No, now we have to get on now. Thanks very much for coming by.
Why are you up there?
Oh, what did you say?
Usually up there.
Well, today I decided to come down here. All right? The Emerald Society of the New York City Transit Police and their piping band. Hear that? That's the pipes. There they are. Rather hear them, huh? The rumble of the drums. It's a spine-tingling sound, isn't it? And it'll be heard throughout the afternoon on this glorious day, St. Patrick's Day in the city of New York and all around the world. Yes. Here he comes, huh? Proud military bearing. Listen. Just listen. Police parading behind their fine pipe band. And they play a very heavy schedule. About 20 performances a year. They play the pipes at parades and weddings and dances, occasionally a funeral. And I remember a few years back when they appeared at a bar mitzvah. But this is the one they look forward to. This is the day, just as we have looked forward to it. And we have been blessed with one of the finest I can ever remember. Ah, yeah. Thanks very much. Hey! thrill is just watching the marches and seeing the expressions on the faces. Irish eyes smiling. Yay! Everybody with a song in his heart and a cheer, sending it up. Ah. Now, do you know the words to McNamara's band? Well, if you do, you'll be hearing it in just a moment. So, get ready. All right, now, go ahead. We'll listen to the band.
Don't even think about buying a Toyota, Nissan, or Honda until you've seen this new Japanese car, the Chevrolet Spectrum. Your Tri-State Chevy dealer has a selection of Spectrums available now. With standard 5-speed gearbox and a base sticker price under $6,600, we think you won't find a better combination of mileage, horsepower, and passenger room at this affordable price. Drive America's new Japanese car, the Chevy Spectrum, at your Tri-State Chevy dealer.
We've got what you're looking for.
A girl, a bee, it is awesome, it's free. It's a lift, it's the way it should be. A kiss, a glance, it is hot, it is cool. Smile, a change, it's breaking the rules. It's just how you feel when you know it's for real. Yeah, it's a kick, it's a hit, it's a call. Coke is it, Coca-Cola is it.
In 18th century America, life was different. It still is. Come back in time to colonial Williamsburg. Come, taste the different foods, hear the different sounds, smell the different smells, meet the different people. For a vacation that's totally different, come to colonial Williamsburg, where 18th century America lives.
Almost anything can happen when you've got our moist, delicious brownies.
Most people can't help but help themselves to our moist, delicious brownies, Duncan Hines.
Duncan Hines.
Bet you can't help but help yourself to our moist, delicious brownies, Duncan Hines.
Duncan Hines.
Of the leading mixes, Duncan Hines is the smoothest and creamiest, and that makes a moist, delicious brownie a most delicious brownie.
So go ahead and help yourself. It's our moist, delicious way to make your best.
Duncan Hines.
Come in and take potluck with me. My hearth is warm, my friendship's free. The St. Anselm's Continental Brigade. Youngsters, are they wonderful? They're fighting from far. On this glorious St. Patrick's Day, warm sun shining down on the cloudless sky. And I'll say it again, never in my memory have we had a day like this. absolutely perfect. Couldn't want it any better. Festivities got underway last night, and 2,100 men attended the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick's dinner in the grand ballroom of the Sheraton Center right here in the middle of the Big Shamrock. The speeches last night were given by Archbishop O'Connor and Senator D'Amato. You know, and as I sat there, there it was all around me, the sparkle of crystal and the magnificent chandeliers. Somehow my mind drifted back to the first dinner held by the Friendly Sons in 1784. A dinner then attended by a mere 70 men. It was held in downtown New York at Cape's Tavern. You see, they had gathered together a respectable company to, well, to quote a news account, for an evening of elegant entertainment. And 70 Irishmen, half of them officers in the Army of the Continental Army. And at that particular dinner, the first one, 28 toasts were drunk. And the paper said next day that the toasts had all been drunk, but it didn't say about the Friendly Sons. However, when you stop to consider 28 toasts, well, after downing 28 toasts, you'd have to say that the Friendly Sons had reached a state of amiable incandescence. I would say that, yeah. The New York State Court Pipers Band. Doorstep of spring. And we're having a parade under conditions the like of which I can never remember. Oh, just look at that. The St. Gerard Magella Fife and Drum Corps, and they're front and center here on Fifth Avenue. The Queen of Avenues. And as I say, and I will say it again, this one day when the Big Apple becomes the Big Shamrock. Now, the equestrian aids to the Grand Marshal. And they add so much to the parade. These horses come from around the area, from New Jersey and Staten Island, Westchester and Brooklyn. And there's tradition here, because you see, the love of horses is a very, very important thing in Ireland. It goes back 2,000 years. And, well, the oldest horse fair in the world still takes place in Ballinasloe in Galway. And there are riding centers wherever you look. The Bloodstock, of course, if you're at all horse-minded, is famous. The Grand National at Aintree in England has been won up to this point by 21 Irish-bred horses out of a total of 31. B-Row, how are you? You look, you sit a horse magnificently. You've got queenly bearing. Did you see that ballad of the white horse or the Irish horse the other night? I tell you, I just stood there and rather sat there, and it just takes you back to Ireland, because I've been over there so many times, and I know the part that horses play there. And they're into it all the time. They say the horse is the uncrowned king of Ireland. And, well, in that little country, there are 28 race courses. And you can go to the races, well, 250 days a year with no trouble at all. Oh, here's something I wonder. Did you know that the word steeplechase was born when a now legendary horse race took place in Cork? And it was done between two church steeples from Butafont Church to St. Mary's Church in Doneraile. And the year was 752, a race between the horses owned by Sean O'Callaghan and Michael Blake. You know, they say a person with a sound mind has good horse sense, and we'll be back in a while. Yeah.
Solid as a rock of Gibraltar, a tradition that will last a long, long time. A Gibraltar guarantee that forever, if forever is how long you own your car.
Milk got the kick that gives you more. Health kick. More nutrition in every pore. Health kick. The calcium in milk helps me stay in shape. I'm looking good, baby. Feeling great.
So get on a health kick, let it pour. America's favorite health kick. Get on a health kick, milk's got more. Have more milk, 'cause milk's got more.
DoorDash. You've got the look, I want to know better. You've got the look that's all together. The DoorDash look. The DoorDash look. The DoorDash look.
Available at Macy's Bambergers.
This is the Irish jumping team at the Dublin Horse Show. Held in August, it's the social event of the year. Ireland, where the horse is the uncrowned king. Céad Míle Fáilte, the 100,000 welcomes. And in Cork last year, I heard a broad translation of the expression, and it goes like this: come in the evening, or come in the morning. And come when you're looked for, or come without warning. 1,000 warm welcomes you'll find here before you, and the oftener we see you, the more we'll adore you. And that's spoken like a real Corkonian. Over there, since the first of the year, they've been celebrating the 800th anniversary of the founding of Cork City, with activities going on all through the spring into the summer and on into the fall and early winter. There are concerts, there are exhibitions, and if you get over to Ireland, and I hope you will, get down to Rebel Cork on the River Lee. It's a glorious place. The St. Camilla Senior Drum Corps. Now just look at this, the discipline, the precision, and you just know that they're reveling in the chance to move up Fifth Avenue, follow that long green line, and say, hey, we're on. Listen to us. We're proud and happy to play for you. And listen, little girl, as they pass by me, it's Danny Boy. Are you having... Senator D'Amato. There. Hiya, Senator. Senator, you were great last night. Absolutely superb. Never better. He gave a stunning speech, full of humor. Cork and McCarthy is a name from Cork. And they made history there. The kings of Desmond, the lords and counts. McCarthy's were bishops and poets, doctors, lawyers. But I have found the McCarthy that stands head and shoulders above them all. And that would be Daniel McCarthy. Now, his obituary, even in its opening sentence, is a remarkable tribute to a remarkable man. I quote, Mr. Daniel McCarthy died in February 1751 in the 112th year of his age. He lived during his life in Cork. During his life, he buried 4 wives. He married a 5th, whom he left a widow in the 84th year of his age, and by whom he had several children. As they say, those Cork men are great late finishers. The New York Fire Department Holy Name Society. Everybody comfortable. The spirit of St. Patrick's Day pervades. I can hear you now. You're on camera. The New York Fighters Burn Center Foundation. I know they're tuned in practically everywhere, wherever our signal is. Out in Jersey, I have a good friend, John Cryan. The other night he made this statement. He said, you know, Sean, he said, we've reached the 7 dwarfs age of taking out a mortgage. Because when you go into the bank, you're bashful. When you hear the mortgages are still available, you're happy. And when you're told the rate, you're grumpy. And if you accept it, you're dopey. Well, these, you know, I think these are my friends. Get me. The Green Derby, New York's original Irish pub, wishes one and all a happy St. Patrick's Day. The Green Derby is located on 2nd Avenue and 52nd Street in the county of Manhattan. And your host, Terry O'Neill, offers that very special Irish welcome today and throughout the year. The Derby provides a full plate of the finest to eat. Roast prime ribs of beef dinner with all the trimmings at an unbeatable $7.95, or sample the Derby's famous mixed grill. And for your entertainment, the Derby features Ireland's Ricky MacDonald piano sing-along. And there'll be no lack of conversation or lively song on your visit to the Derby. Cork City's own Terry O'Neill welcomes one and all to the Green Derby on 2nd Avenue and 52nd Street. The Green Derby, the pub that started it all.
What'll it be, ladies?
7 Up.
You must be from another planet.
What makes you say that?
Well, hasn't everyone on Earth heard that Sprite tastes better than 7-Up?
Right.
Yeah, it even won the taste test.
Test.
The one where more people preferred that great Lyman taste?
Sprite. This civilization is more advanced than we thought.
The way they taste that's right.
Who says new Liquid Tide cleans some of your toughest stains better than any other liquid? You do. And in nationwide tests, hundreds of you proved it. So did Catherine Frawley of Bel Air, Maryland.
Was and is. This is grass stain. This was grass stain. Liquid Tide took the grass stain right out of this one. Liquid Tide is a better detergent than my liquid is. And it does a much better job. I have the proof in front of me.
You can say new Liquid Tide cleans better because you can see it cleans better. See for yourself.
Hey, Wednesday is Sunday at Carvel. Fresh ice cream that sure is swell. Deluxe Sunday dinners and Sundays too. The new Super Sunday is just for you. On Wednesday, buy one, get one free. There's one for you and one for me. Deluxe Sunday dinners and Sundays too. The new Super Sunday is just for you. On Wednesday, buy one, get one free. One for you and one for me. Participating Carvel stores displaying this sign.
The green fields of Ireland and Hoare Abbey. This ancient ruin is a tie to Ireland's monastic past and dates back to the 12th century. Welcome back to the Queen of Avenues. Welcome back and just take in this view. Isn't it exciting? Colorful? Perfect day. You bet. Now, I think I should call this to your attention. You know, right now, Irish Americans have their own ethnic reference books. That's true. The Irish American Who's Who. Now, the Irish American Who's Who is 972 pages of biographical information about the Irish in America as of today, plus the Irish Directory. Now, the Irish Directory consists of 214 pages of listings of names and addresses of Irish American organizations, St. Patrick's Day parades, Irish festivals, radio programs, and other Irish American information. Now, these books are available by mail from the Irish American Who's Who. That's Post Office Box 735, Pearl River, New York. Zip code 10965. I'll repeat that. The Irish American Who's Who and the Irish Directory are available by writing to the Irish American Who's Who, Box 735, Pearl River, New York, 10965. These are my fellas. You think so? This is the Honor Legion of the Fire Department of the City of New York. Oh, that tastes good. Having a little sip of tea. Yeah. I guess we all know that the Chinese introduced tea to the rest of the world, but I wonder, did you know that it was an Irishman who conceived the convenience of what we now know the tea bag? That's true. It was an Irishman that thought up the idea, and it was by accident at that. You see, the unspoken genius of the Irish, it had its origin early in the 20th century, right here in the middle of the Big Shamrock. And it seems that Thomas Sullivan, a New York City importer, began sending his customers samples of teas, not in the tins that were used at the time, but in small silk pouches sewn by his staff. But much to Sullivan's surprise, orders began just pouring in, and the tea bag was born. And I have mixed emotions like that, because one of my fondest memories, when my mother's friends would come to the house and they'd start reading the tea leaves. That was a case of 3 hours of lives. The Dublin Fire Brigade, over from Ireland, marching in their first St. Patrick's Day parade and being received very warmly by the spectators along the line of march. The Irish in America. Irishman Matthew Lyon, the son of a humble Wicklow peasant, was sold as a slave to the New England plantations because he dared to raise his voice and his arm in defense of the rights of his Catholic neighbors and kinsmen in Wicklow. And later, he bought his freedom, and still later he became a senator from Vermont and cast the deciding vote against the wishes of his constituents, which made Thomas Jefferson president of the country over Aaron Burr, and by doing so altered the entire course of our country's history. The Irish in America. There, the Emerald Society of the Fire Department, with good friend Jim Moriarty and Mario Biaggi, and the bagpipes played. Big Jim Cochran, how are you? The Emerald Society of the Fire Department, wearing their green berets. Jim Moriarty with Mario Biaggi having paid their respects to our chairman, Francis Byrne. And we return to Fifth Avenue on a day I will always remember. I did indeed. How do you answer that? How do you answer something like that? A treasured memory, to be sure. We'll be back.
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways.
I love your home cooking, honey.
I just love your silent pictures.
I love the way you move. You'll love New York, too. Broadway and every way. For package tours and information, call 1-800-554-3600.
I love New York. You know why? Of course, it's open all night.
I love New York.
All night.
Would
just found out that Booby here drinks the same beer as me, Corky, Sparky, Buck, and Boom Boom. Light beer from Miller. Now, Booby, Buck, and Boom Boom like light because it's got a third less calories than the regular beer and it's less filling, while Corky and Sparky drink it for the great taste. So Boom Boom, Buck, and Booby don't necessarily drink it for the same reason as Sparky and Corky. They all agree that light's the best beer to buy. Isn't that right, Booby?
You bet, Boom Boom. Right, Bart?
You got it, Corky.
What about that, Sparky?
You said it, Boog.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
And so, Your Honors, we think it's something our town needs. And we've got 500 names signed to a petition.
Boys, you've attended 6 city council meetings, and today construction of a White Castle was approved. Tell us, why did you do it?
We love the taste. Our folks have to drive us past a jillion other hamburger places just to get to the nearest White Castle.
White Castle has a taste some people won't live without.
I'll always remember Glengarriff. It was here I had the pleasure of visiting one of the world's most beautiful women, Maureen O'Hara. Lucky me. The Xavier High School Cadets. Let's listen. About this. Founded by Father John Larkin, and as Father Larkin put it, he started from Fordham with 50 cents in his pocket to purchase a church and a house in the city. 25 cents he paid for his fare in the car, 20 cents more for transfer of his trunk to a friend's residence, and thus had 5 cents left to found his new house and his church. But he did, and so in 1847, Xavier was born. It's a great story. The big parade, the big parade. You know, the drama of the Irish is framed by 2 great parades. When you think about it, the first is a parade of gaunt men and women in the smell of steerage, still clinging to their rags, coming ashore to the jeers of pierside idlers. Time passes, and that parade fades from view, and another parade comes into focus. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day in New York, and the Irish are on the march. The Big Apple is the big shamrock, and the flags are flying, the bands play, and the cheers of millions of New Yorkers ring out as they pass by these Irish. They're strong, and they're proud, and they're prosperous Americans, and believe me, it's a great day for the Irish. They're gone. 'Cause they used to. 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 'Cause they us Emerald Society, Department of Correction, piping band. Cheering rends the sky. And the Irish. You know, the Irish have a special and distinct and unique love symbol. It's called the clatter ring. It's been in use for over 400 years and has gained well-deserved widespread popularity here in this country. You see, it comes from Clatter. It's a small fishing community in Galway. And the ring bears an emblem of two hands holding a crowned heart. With these two hands, I give you my heart, and I crown it with all my love. And there are three ways to wear the clatter ring. If it is worn on the right hand with the crown turned inwards, it means the wearer still has an unoccupied heart. Worn on the right hand with the crown pointing out, an indication that there is a suitor in consideration. And with an air of pride, an air of finality, if worn on the left hand with the crown inwards, the wearer is spoken for. What a tender thing, a tender thought expressed in that fashion. The Housing Department Police Emerald Society. Me the Foucher. The spirit and the soul of Ireland are alive and well at New York's famous John Barleycorn restaurant. The Barleycorn is located on East 45th Street and 3rd Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. And if you're Irish or if you're not, there's a Barleycorn welcome for you every day at New York's favorite meeting place. The musical tradition at the Barleycorn continues with live entertainment nightly featuring Galway's Christy O'Connor and his band. So join your host, Terry O'Neill, for lunch, dinner, or late supper. And for a special treat tomorrow, enjoy the Barleycorn's Irish country brunch beginning at noon. Call the Barleycorn at 986-1088 for a special St. Patrick's Day country breakfast tomorrow at the John Barleycorn. And your host, Terry O'Neill, wishes all his many friends a very happy St. Patrick's Day.
Manufacturers Hanover Trust is taking banking out of the bank. No more bank lines. No more banker's hours. No more bank. It's bankless banking. And you can do it almost any place you happen to be, even your own hometown. For more information and a free bankless banking kit, just call us at 1-800-MHT-BANK. 1-800-MHT-BANK. Manufacturers Hanover's bankless banking. We realize your potential.
Close by the chill of fresh and fragrant waters, where pools of light glow, there is a black tower. Black Tower, the imported white wine in the black bottle. Delicate flavor flows from each tall bottle, a clear golden color catching the brilliance of light. And every delightful glass becomes a superbly refreshing new pleasure. Black Tower, the white wine in the black bottle.
Ben Bulben rises in majestic splendor in County Sligo, and beneath it rests Ireland's greatest poet, William Butler Yeats. The Queen of Avenues. And as I've said before, and can say it with feeling and with pride, the Big Apple is the Big Shamrock. And to each his own. If this weather holds, tomorrow I'm going to tee up that little white ball at Waikagill and chase it. Because I've been reminded of that, because the Chrysler Plymouth Charity Classic will be held at a very fine course down there in the Chatham Township in New Jersey, the Fairmount Country Club. This is passed along by my favorite Mediterranean Irishman, Pete Gazzatti. He called and said that the honorary chairman will be Governor Thomas Keane, and all the finest lady golfers will be there. And it's something that I never want to miss. The dates are from May 13th to May 19th. And believe me, this is a delightful course, easy to find, and to see these great lady golfers with their smooth swing. And the charities are three non-profit organizations: the American Cancer Society of Morris County, the Madison Area YMCA, and the Southeast Morris Project Community Pride. They have been chosen to benefit from the play of these girls in the Chrysler Plymouth Charity Golf Classic. Remember the date. I'll be down there May 13th to May 19th, and Pete, team me up with some goodies. The Suffolk County Police Emerald Society Piping Band. Can I talk? And now the Emerald Society of the Suffolk County Police Department. And a word here. A word to Tom Mangan, the past president of the Police Emeralds out there. Tom, you'll be on your feet in no time. We're all rooting and praying for you. You can't miss. You got that big Irish heart going for you, and you're a lead pipe cinch. You know, as we celebrate the 223rd St. Patrick's Day Parade here in New York, well, they have been celebrating since the first of the year, the 800th anniversary of the founding of Cork City. That's since the first of the year. And this summer, tell you what, go to Ireland, visit Cork, because there you'll find that the experience goes beyond the dream. It's Cork, where you'll hear, in the quiet of a pub maybe, somebody reciting the bells of Shandon. You know the words, I'm sure. With deep affection and recollection, I often think of those Shandon bells, whose sounds so wildwood in the days of my childhood fling round my cradle their magic spells. And on this I ponder, where'er I wander, and thus grow fonder, sweet Cork, of thee, with the bells of Shandon that sound so grand on the waters of the River Lee. Revel, Cork, on the River Lee, to walk down Patricks'S, to meet the smiling faces. That's where Tip O'Neill is today. And here, as I said at the start, he's in Cork. Well, the town of New York is the county of Cork. Every girl is an Irish Pauline. The Hudson looks just like the Shannon, and the Palisades are all painted green. I hope that you're enjoying this parade 1/10 as much as we are. Oh, my man, I've got to get down to say hello. You know, there came a point in time when they questioned the cost of painting this long green line. It seemed that it would cost all of $100 and maybe the cost of labor, and so it was stricken from the city budget. But what to do about the green line? One man said the tradition must prevail, and that man is right here now. Oh, Neil Walsh, You add so much.
Well, Jack, to start with,
Look in there.
I want to first congratulate you on the terrific job you're doing this year and you've done every year. And I also want to congratulate you for being in the first Irish-American Who's Who. I saw your name in the book, and congratulations, and I'm proud of you for it.
Now, Neil, I want to congratulate you. You see, I saw your name in the Irish Who's Who, and I want to congratulate you for it.
You really do. You know,
this is a mutual admiration
and
society.
I tell you who else made the book.
Who?
Our great and dear friend Timothy John Mara, the great owner of the Giants, is also in the book.
And a few hundred other people.
A few hundred.
Well deserved.
I think so.
People of note.
That's for sure.
Irishmen of stature.
Who stand up.
Men that just stand head and shoulders above all the rest.
Not a question of doubt. Do you like our line this year?
Yeah, it's done.
Jack, the line of the 49.
You bet.
I named it that for the 49 states that our great Irish-American president Ronald Reagan carried. And for the San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl champion, I like the head coached by my cousin, Bill Walsh.
I didn't know that until the other day, that Bill Walsh is your cousin.
That's right, and of course they're great.
He's the smart one, isn't he?
That's it, he's the rich one, too.
Neil Walsh,
Good to
thank
see
you
you,
so
Jack.
much. It's,
right.
Well, now the next thing we'll be looking forward to is the season, all right?
That's right.
And now, here he is, if I may.
How are you, Jack?
Chairman of our parade this day, Peter King with his charming family looking on. Peter, what an honor.
Oh, it's a great honor, Jack. It's a great day for all Irish Americans.
And
It
what
really
are your
is.
thoughts as you contemplate?
Oh, it's great. We all pray for peace and justice in Ireland. We thank God that Irish Americans have had such a great opportunity in this country and that we can all march together.
How wonderful for you to say that, because
thank
that's
you, Jack.
exactly the way it should be.
Thank you, Jack.
What did you feel as you walked up the avenue? And remember how few men have been honored in this fashion. Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, I, Peter King from Sunnyside. What were your thoughts?
Oh, it was a great honor. I was thinking of my grandparents and my parents, and thank God my mother's still alive. She was able to enjoy it.
How wonderful.
And she's here in the stands, and it was just a great day. And also, like I said, thinking of the people who are suffering in Ireland, but knowing that with our prayers, justice will come to all of them.
How true. Did you feel as though your feet weren't touching the ground?
I was floating up the avenue, Jack.
God love you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jack.
Peter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Now, Manhattan College, and wait a minute. Here's the man of the hour. Wait, will you say that again?
Hello,
What
Jack.
did you
Martin
say?
Dunn. Nice to see you.
What did you say to him there? Face the cameras right in front of you. All right, fine. Please.
Jack, how are you? I'm on congratulations. Thank you. After all those years.
Don't wait, hold it here. We'll get our act together in just a second after the bagpipe has passed. Following in the footsteps of the illustrious James J. Comerford, the chairman of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, Francis Byrne. Congratulations, happy St. Patrick's Day, and your thoughts as you review this, your first parade as chairman, Francis.
This is a much bigger parade than we had in the past.
Really?
Being on a Saturday and a good day. There are far more people marching and more people reviewing from the sidelines.
Are you happy with what
I'm
you've
very
seen
happy
thus
with
far?
the parade. I'm very happy with all the people that are working on it.
Just look into the camera
As
there.
you know, Jack, we have about 35 different committees working on this parade, and we have about 600 people, all volunteer workers working together to put on the best show possible, the best parade possible.
Can you tell me, how did you arrange to have such a glorious day presented to us? The weather, absolutely perfect.
My wife claims she was praying for good weather, and her prayers are always answered.
Well, I think we could
answer this year.
We could add to your wife's prayers the prayers of countless other people. Say, let's make this one for Francis a goodie.
We had a small problem at the start with the ladies, and Jim Comerford asked for 2 requests.
Yes.
One was that we stay at the same printer, they do top-notch work, and the others have no changes until he was gone out.
Good.
And we gave him its 2 requests, and that's one of the reasons we didn't want to move with ladies this year.
Yeah.
Although we have ladies working on different committees this year.
I see.
And we have ladies on the review.
And as a Grand Marshal, you think the Ladies' Day will come?
The Ladies' Day will come very in the near future.
Good.
And we're working with
This is a whole new beginning.
A whole new beginning. And a lot of little changes.
Yes,
and as you know, Jack, this is the oldest parade in the world since 1762, and you don't make major changes all this stuff.
No, but there is a time for change.
There is a time.
And now's the time. Maybe we'll even change the way the parade is formed. You know, there's always
You would like
time.
to see it from down Fifth?
No. Now, we'll be back in just a moment.
We're the only parade that marches up Fifth Avenue.
Right.
All the rest of them marches down Fifth Avenue. Very good.
We'll be back.
Okay, thank you.
Time to paint the living room again, huh? Worried you'll buy the wrong paint? Maybe you'll be disappointed with this one, too. Maybe you'll even have to repaint next year. This time, use a quality paint that's earned the confidence of millions for 40 years. Glidden Spread Satin, a paint that won't disappoint you. On sale at a price that'll delight you. Glidden, your paint should be this good.
Available at Oakland ProMart Home Center, Just Panel Enterprises Incorporated, and Stroke of Genius.
You got the love. You got the love. You got the love.
They want to know better.
You got the love.
That's all together, working, playing, day or night. The look, that's right. You got the look.
You got the love.
The Jordache.
Available at A&S.
What are you doing in the kitchen at 3 a.m. in the morning, Alice?
Having a breakfast treat, George.
But breakfast isn't for another 4 hours.
I'm not having breakfast. I'm having a Stelladoro breakfast treat.
Is there a difference?
Breakfast, you eat at breakfast time. Breakfast treats, you eat anytime.
Not bad. But if they're good anytime, Alice, why do they call them breakfast treats?
George, don't talk. Eat.
Stelladoro breakfast treats. There's no wrong time to eat them.
The stately elegance of Kylemore Abbey, where tea is served by kindly Benedictine nuns. The Irish in America, and the spotlight on John J. Phelan Jr. John J. Phelan Jr. was elected chairman, chief executive officer of the New York Stock Exchange in 1984, associated with the stock exchange for more than 25 years. And he is credited with bringing to the stock exchange the electronic age. He has been the driving force behind the exchange's development of communications data processing and trading support systems that today constitute one of the most extensive privately owned computer complexes in all the world. Now, these systems underlie the exchange's current ability to efficiently handle sustained trading volumes of more than, get this, 150 million shares a day. That's mind-boggling. John Phelan is a Knight of Malta, a Knight of the Holy Sepulchre, a member of the Board of Counselors of the Holy Sepulchre, a member of the Executive Committee of the Archdiocese Cardinals Committee of the Laity, the Irish in America, and now the Police Emerald Society Piping Band. Well, just right from home, the Police Emerald Society of Bodie. I'm trying to find my place. Oh, look at him. Yep, the War Pipers of the Port Authority Police. I got it. Right on the money. I'll bet you I know more than just a handful of these men. Of course, we live in Westchester. And now they've come all the way down from up there, all of at least 15 miles. And proud, you better know it, proud to march in this, the big parade. The songs and the dances are sung And you know, Irish entertainers have brightened our lives down through the years. And the list is endless. To name a few, Gene Kelly and Bing Crosby, the glorious, beautiful Maureen O'Hara, the Barrymores, Lionel Ethel and John, Jackie Gleason, John Wayne, Carol O'Connor, the late Grace Kelly and Art Carney. And it continues today. Fine, young Irish-American actor. You've seen him. Matt Dillon, excellent. Fine performer, Michael O'Keefe. And I think of Matt, and I think of Matt's father, a great dear friend. And I imagine tomorrow, if I get up early enough after church and get over there, he'll be waiting to tee the ball up. Paul Dillon, great good friend. Great, great good friend. Yep. Irish entertainers with a song in their heart. The gift of laughter. The Emerald Society of Nassau County. A nation once again. The wish of everyone that has today an Irish heart, that the time will come when that beloved land will become just that, a nation once again. Let's listen to the band. This being an election year, producer-director Don Carty emphatically states that no interviews with politicians. And there's a reason. And, you know, buttering your own bread and something like that. I have this friend out in Jersey, Vince McNanny, who said, you know, the more you listen to political speeches, the more you realize that this is a land of promise. Isn't that a fact, Joe? Huh?
Sure is.
The builders of the cities, the builders of the railroads and the canals. And it was during the building of our great nation that it was the Irish that swung the picks and lifted the shovels and brought down the hammers that transformed towns into cities. They built the roads, as I said, and the canals. And history tells of General Jack Casement and his army of Irish laborers, 10,000 strong, right, building the Union Pacific in 1865, and how from time to time they had to lay down their picks and shovels and pick up rifles to ward off the marauding Indians. Yep, during the building they suffered terrible hardships, because the Irish did the toughest, most dangerous kind of work. And as the Union Pacific built west, another railroad, the Central Pacific, began to build from the east, from California. And somewhere, the two would meet and join the nation. Finally, on May 10th, 1869, the Union Pacific and the Central Pacific were joined at Promontory Point, the Promontory Mountains north of Great Salt Lake in Utah. The building of a nation and the Irish. Get me, Iona. We'll be back right after this.
We're Manufacturers Hanover, helping you grow wherever you are.
A silk importer departs from Los Angeles.
Backed by a letter of credit from our bank's international division.
A furniture manufacturer expands his inventory in Cleveland.
With our commercial corporation behind it.
The World Financial Center springs up in New York.
That's our bank's real estate division. They can handle almost anything.
We're Manufacturers Hanover.
And now you know why we're called the financial source worldwide.
While we were away, Iona College passed by with their pipers, being led by a very great dear friend, Brother John Driscoll, who right now is in his 14th year as president, and he has taken on even greater responsibilities for public service because he is the chairman of the Westchester Public Utility Agency, director of the New Rochelle Hospital Medical Center, president of the New Rochelle Foundation, director of the Chase Bank, National Bank of Westchester branch, and so many other duties. And I guess that's one of the reasons why you never see him out on the golf course. And also from the school, man that today had a breakfast in his place, that Stephen McFadden, who was one of the founding members of the Gaelic Society, Brian McFadden's, and the politicians were all around. And now, right here, Cardinal Spellman High School Band, let's listen. About this rollicking marching song, the Garryo. It was a drinking song of the 5th Royal Irish Lancers, and it was adopted by the 7th Cavalry Regiment, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel George Custer. And it was the Garryo that was played in 1876 when Custer led the 7th Cavalry to its fate at Little Bighorn. And you know, 95% of those that perished on that fateful day were Irishmen. It's true. And after the battle, the only living things left were one horse, 2 Irish wolfhounds. The town closest to the Custer Battlefield National Park is named Garryo, Montana. Kennett Square High School Band from Kennett Square in Pennsylvania. know, one of the gifts of the Irish is that they have a way with words, whether it's songs, poetry, or prose. The Irish have expressed themselves notably in the past and continue to do so today. Now, with this in mind, a group of aspiring young performers has established the Celtic Theatre Company. It's in residence at Seton Hall University in South Orange, New Jersey. And the Celtic Theatre Company is directed by Dr. James P. McGlone. He's a professor of communications. And it's primarily made up of members of the Seton Hall community. Its objectives to keep alive well-known Irish theater and to introduce to the American stage plays that are rarely seen outside of Ireland. And it has featured popular Irish actors and actresses from the Gate and from the Abbey and from the theatre in Cork. And often these actors and actresses recreate the roles that they originated on the Irish stage. Now, the next production of the Celtic Theatre Company, scheduled for the end of May, is titled The Emigrant Journey, The Adventures of the Irish in America. And believe me, it promises to be an enjoyable evening of Irish song, recitation, and dance. Just think about this and mark it down. For more details, contact the box office at Seton Hall University, South Orange, New Jersey. Oh, wait now. Along with the Irish from across the sea, there are several familiar Irish Americans who are also involved with the theater company. Trustees include Bishop John J. Doherty, President Emeritus of Seton Hall, Gene Kelly, Bernard Hughes, and I'm proud to say yours truly, Jack McCarthy. I'll be there. We'll be looking for you. St. Anne's Drum and Bugle Corps from Flushing, Long Island. What a day to remember. The weather I will never forget. We'll be back to the Queen of Avenues right after this. We're getting it. The Green Derby, New York's original Irish pub, wishes one and all a happy St. Patrick's Day. The Green Derby is located on 2nd Avenue and 52nd Street in the county of Manhattan. And your host, Terry O'Neill, offers that very special Irish welcome today and throughout the year. The Derby provides a full plate of the finest to eat. Roast prime ribs of beef dinner with all the trimmings at an unbeatable $7.95, or sample the Derby's famous mixed grill. And for your entertainment, the Derby features Ireland's Ricky MacDonald piano sing-along. And there'll be no lack of conversation or lively song on your visit to the Derby. Cork City's own Terry O'Neill welcomes one and all to the Green Derby on 2nd Avenue and 52nd Street. The Green Derby, the pub that started it all.
Wednesday, Sunday at Carvel. Fresh ice cream that sure is swell. Deluxe Sunday dinners and Sundays too. The new Super Sunday is just for you. On Wednesday, buy one, get one free. There's one for you and one for me. Deluxe Sunday dinners and Sundays too. The new Super Sunday is just for you. On Wednesday, buy one, get one free. One for you and one for me. At participating Carvel stores displaying this sign.
Chrysler Plymouth's Thank You America celebration on the best 6-passenger car value. Plymouth Reliant Super K. To thank you for our best year ever, we're offering participating dealers automatic transmission at no extra cost. These savings may be passed on to you. You could save up to $439, backed by a 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. The 550 Reliant Super K.
Thank you, America.
How do you measure the power of a laundry detergent? This takes a half cup to clean your wash. Aeroplus, just a quarter cup. But which has more power on many stains? We'll write on grape juice with this leading half cup you've been using for years. Then Aeroplus. See how Aero puts more concentrated power right on the stain to clean rings around the half cup. So do you want to use more detergent or more power? Aeroplus. The protein power is in the quarter cup.
Visitors to the West are always surprised to see a touch of jungle vegetation as tall palm trees lift their spiky heads against the blue sky. The Irish on parade. Warm sun. Thousands upon thousands of people along the line of march. And just thinking about the Irish, and it makes you proud. I wanted it in the first hour, so it's 2 hours later. Okay. The Irish Northern Aid Committee. The marshal today, Michael Flannery, John McElhone, and Pat O'Connell. The Northern Aid Committee formed to provide funds to feed and clothe the poor and the distressed in Northern Ireland. They passed a moment ago the Sean Ogla Nahairn, the old soldiers of Ireland, in ever diminishing numbers. And many years have passed since the pulses of those men beat fast with secret hope. And today they marched and they remember another time when they were young and fought for Irish independence during Easter week. And undoubtedly, they remember their comrades in arms, Eamon de Valera, James Connolly, Joseph Plunkett, Sean McDermott, Tom Clark, Eamon Kent, and Padraig Pearse. Padraig Pearse was a writer of poetry and prose and drama. He also was an impressive orator. And one of his great events in his entire career was the one that brought him to the notice of all Ireland as a man ready to fight in the cause of Irish freedom. It was his rousing oration in 1915 at the grave of O'Donovan Rossa in Glasnevin Cemetery. And he ended his speech with these words: "Life springs eternal, and from the graves of patriot men spring living nations. The defenders of this realm have worked well in secret and in the open. They think that they have pacified Ireland, and they think that they have purchased half of us and intimidated the other half. But the fools, they have left us our Fenian dead. And while Ireland holds these graves, Ireland unfree shall never be at peace. The words of Patricks'S. How prophetic. And these people, in sympathy with those words, concerned about friends, relatives, loved ones in Northern Ireland, march today. You know, St. Patrick's Day must surely be something more than simply an Irish national holiday, more than simply an occasion for jollification and rejoicing, something more even than the feast day of the great apostle St. Patrick. It must be, in addition, all these things, the great day of national recollection for the Irish race. The day of the year in which we pass in review in our minds the great vicissitudes which the Irish race has passed throughout the centuries up to this very moment, and which we honor with our remembrance the great Irishmen of former days who dedicated their lives to Ireland's service and for her welfare, just as these people today march up Fifth Avenue. Northern Aid, concerned people, and they do so badly want to help. And we share with them their feelings. And with God's grace, let's pray that peace will come to that fairy land of dreams, Ireland.
Go on now.
The sign for the glory of God and the honor of Ireland being carried proudly by the Northern Aid people.
Available at Gimbel's.
In 18th century America, life was different. It still is. Come back in time to colonial Williamsburg. Come, taste the different foods, hear the different sounds, smell the different smells, meet the different people. For a vacation that's totally different, come to colonial Williamsburg, where 18th century America lives.
When you've given all you've got, wanna kick the 9 to 5. It's time to leave it all behind. You know it's time now for 11 Alive. Together we can catch the stars. Together we're gonna shine. It's time for 11. It's time for 11 Alive. It's time for 11. It's time for 11 Alive.
A magnificent building standing beside the River Nore, Kilkenny Castle, erected in the 13th century. Welcome back to sun-splashed Fifth Avenue on this day and all days, the Queen of Avenues. And it's the St. Patrick's Day Parade on a glorious, glorious afternoon. Magnificent, fantastic. And we now, on your screen, parading before you, the Rockaway Irish Northern Aid Committee. They are divided up into groups, each one from Staten Island, from Rockland, from Westchester, from Staten Island, as you can see. People with firm beliefs. People that are giving of their material gain to supply food and clothing and medicines, hopeful that there will be peace in Ireland through their efforts and the efforts of all of us and the prayers of all of us. Come on, Father. It's cute. It is any... A good friend, Father Peter Finn.
How are you, Jack?
Wonderful
Happy
to
St.
have you.
Patrick's Day.
And I know why you're here, and I was thinking about Mother Seton, and the year was, I believe, 1817.
Thereabouts, I think,
Yes,
Jack,
when
yes.
she opened that first orphanage downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And Catholic Charities have moved forward ever since, haven't they?
Oh, they certainly have. And the role of Catholic Charities today is very diversified to try to meet the needs of contemporary times. We know the great problem of the homeless and the hungry, and we are expanding our services in those areas, opening up new shelters in Staten Island and throughout Manhattan and the Bronx, and up county too, as soon as we're able to establish them in places like Newburgh and other areas that are in need of them. We know the great plea of the Archbishop for the sacredness of human life and for the unborn, and his appeal to all who have even considered the possibility of an abortion to realize that the entire facilities of the Archdiocese are at the disposal of the pregnant woman for the period of pregnancy and beyond. As much as we can help, we want to help.
But it does take money.
It takes money. It takes a lot of money, and a lot of cooperation from a lot of people. And so each year, of course, we have the annual Archbishop's appeal, which is currently underway with a target goal of $6 million. And it will go to the pastoral, the educational, and the charitable works of the Archdiocese of New York, and these are some of them. One very interesting thing, I think, is very few people are aware of the fact, Jack, that the Foundling Hospital has expended through the diocese over $1 million this year in research in the AIDS epidemic that is such a horror for so many people in our society, and just another example of the outreach.
Support Catholic Charities.
Please.
That's it.
Thank you, Jack.
A very wise man once said, if you don't have charity in your heart, you have the worst kind of heart trouble. So support our Archbishop's appeal. Thank you very much.
God bless you and your listeners, Jack.
Thank you very much.
Have a happy St. Patrick's Day.
with our Grand Marshal, right? Marshal.
Chairman.
With our chairman, but I said Marshal instead of Marshal, is...
Assemblyman Dennis Butler from Queens.
From Queens, and the reason for our little chat right here is...
This is a resolution we passed in the New York State Assembly extolling the virtues of St. Patrick, the virtues of the Irish people, and calling for a free and united Ireland.
Good.
And I want to thank Dennis Buckley and our good friend Senator John Flynn for presenting this to the Irish people, and I will accept this on behalf of all the marchers and the people watching TV.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grand Marshal. And now I will have these two gentlemen who are from my part of... you are on television, and your efforts have been rewarded. And first of all, gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
Senator John E. Flynn from Yonkers, New York.
And
Westchester County Executive Andy O'Rourke.
And how many children do you have?
I just have three.
Three?
But they're all probably watching this right now, and I wish them well and wish them a good St. Patrick's Day.
Tell me, did you meet your wife in Westchester or where?
Well, I met her at the St. Patrick's Day parade, you know, and
really?
I celebrate it every year, and she wears black every year, but she was marching with the St. Vincent's a student nurse, Alice O'Rourke from McKenna at the time, and I was marching with the ROTC from Fordham University, and we met right here.
And out of the St. Patrick's Day parade, a marriage came.
33 years ago we met, and we still love each other.
Isn't that just wonderful? How long have you been married?
I'm married 41 years, and I married a nurse, too.
You don't look that old. How old are you?
I'm 72.
Come on.
Come on.
You look nothing more than about 71.
Ah, God bless you.
Thank you for coming by, fellas. We just wanted to say hello and have your contribution to the flavor of the parade. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be with you.
See you next year.
All right.
Right.
Thank you.
Breaking the tape, who's ahead of the pack? You call that kid Cracker Jack?
'Cause Cracker Jack's really good. It's the triple good taste of popcorn and peanuts covered with yummy caramel, plus a secret toy surprise.
The water's much deeper than you realize. It takes a Cracker Jack kid to get the prize.
A triple taste treat, that's Cracker Jack, plus a prize in every pack.
When you're really good, you're Cracker Jack.
Manufacturers Hanover Trust is taking banking out of the bank. No more bank lines. No more banker's hours. No more bank. It's bankless banking. And you can do it almost any place you happen to be, even your own hometown. For more information and a free bankless banking kit, just call us at 1-800-MHT-BANK. 1-800-MHT-BANK. Manufacturers Hanover's bankless banking. We realize your potential.
Hey, Wednesday, Sunday at Carvel. Fresh ice cream that sure is swell. Deluxe Sunday dinners and Sundays too. The new Super Sunday is just for you. On Wednesday, buy one, get one free. There's one for you and one for me. Deluxe Sunday dinners and Sundays too. The new Super Sunday is just for you. On Wednesday, buy one, get one free. One for you and one for me. At participating Carvel stores displaying this sign.
Susie, make the coffee, Laura. Better have this package in L.A. tomorrow. Call Anne-Marie, and it's as good as there.
Hi, Emery.
It's as good as there.
How sweetly lies old Ireland, emerald green beyond the foam, awakening sweet memories, calling the heart back home to the kingdom of Kerry. Fifth Avenue, the queen of avenues, on this glorious St. Patrick's Day, with weather the like of which I haven't seen in a long, long time. The Bellevue College School of Nursing, rather I should say the Hunter College Bellevue School of Nursing, because this segment of the parade is occupied by the nurses from the various hospitals. And in their honor, I read these words. It's just a piece of linen, starched so smooth and white. It symbolizes honor in the face of truth and right. It signifies a life's work done for humanity. Years of toil and service a nurse's life must be. And perhaps it doesn't mean so much to all the gang back home. They only know we're different now. So far apart we've grown. But to us it means a joy and a sense of self-content. And it signifies a noble work, and it bears God's recompense. The Hilton Crimson Cadet Band from Rochester to New York. That's right, from Rochester to New York. And where? Fifth Avenue. And what an exciting picture they do make. You can feel it. Listen, what a sound. The Irish eyes are smiling. Listen to this.
the music. 97 WINY FM.
Recently, the Chrysler LeBaron GTS challenged two of Europe's most celebrated sports sedans to a performance showdown. In critical tests, LeBaron GTS decisively beat the Audi 5000S and BMW 528e, and it will keep on beating them.
Close by the chill of fresh and fragrant waters, where pools of light glow, there is a black tower. Black Tower. The imported white wine in the black bottle. Delicate flavor flows from each tall bottle, a clear golden color catching the brilliance of light. And every delightful glass becomes a superbly refreshing new pleasure. Black Tower, the white wine in the black bottle.
The Daily News would come up with a bonus extra game card for Millionaires Roulette on St. Patty's Day. Get Sunday's Daily News. You may have the luck of the Irish.
Visitors to the fair city of Dublin marvel at this stirring memorial to Daniel O'Connell. Called King of the Beggars, he incarnated an entire nation. The reveling goes on and on and on the Queen of Avenues. What a day this has been. A memorable day. A festive occasion. One that we will treasure for a long, long time. The Queen of Avenues. Yeah. And how aptly stated. The one day out of the entire year when the Big Apple becomes the Big Shamrock. And all over the world, they're celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And they continue to celebrate in Revel Cork on the River Lee. And they've been celebrating there since the first of the year, the 800th anniversary of the founding of Cork City. Celebrations that take in every conceivable kind of event, going through the late winter into the spring, the summer, the fall, and it'll come to a conclusion on the last day of December. Massac High School Band from Monroe, Connecticut, followed by Rider College, Charles Stewart Parnell Irish Society of Lawrenceville, and now Cardinal Hayes High School, named after the late Cardinal Francis Felton. Just listen to the band, right?
Syncopators of progressive riffs have a unique style of jawing.
Howard says jazz musicians talk funny.
And after a gig, I finger pop with a light beer from Miller.
After playing, Howard enjoys a light beer.
Light is super cool and a breeze on the calories you dig.
Light is less filling, with a third less calories than their regular beer. And the taste, Howard?
Oh, man, it's Obop Shabam. It's lay down, break down, birdie on the hot side of town.
He likes it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
New York, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways.
I love your sparkle and glitter.
I love your foreign accent.
I love the way you put on a show.
You'll love New